Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saieed. We do want to thank you for joining us, viewers. It's Friday night in Trinidad and Tobago. Some would say the weekend now started, it's time to party. Some would say because of the rain, you know what, we're lying home. While others in different parts of Trinidad and Tobago are experiencing havoc. Some have lost household items, equipment. Some have lost livestock. Some have lost agriculture. But there's one good thing that I am pleased to see, and I haven't seen that for quite some time. Councillors and MPs out in the field. I haven't seen that for some time in Trinidad and Tobago. And I ask myself, when the PNM administration was in power, the MPs and the councillors, when rain fall, is it a different rain to when the UNC in power comparing to the PNM in power? Is there two different type of rain? I'm asking. Because I never used to see the MPs, I never used to see the councillors going out. We never saw Rohan Sinanan outside. When flood goes down, then he would go out and make a pass. We haven't heard anything from him, being a former Minister of Works and Transport. Stuart Young, we ain't seen Stuart Young, we ain't seen Rowley, we ain't seen nobody else. I haven't seen this for a long time. So I ask myself, the rain when UNC in power and the rain when PNM was in power, is it two different rain? I don't know, I'm asking myself. Because all over social media, whether you go on TikTok, whether you go on IG, whether you go on Facebook, it doesn't matter what social media platform you are on, I'm seeing UNC MPs outside. This is what I'm seeing. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, like I always say, I'm not affiliated with no political party, and the truth is what you will get from me. So tonight, President's nomination of Alistair Grovero for the post of Commissioner of Police was supported by both the government and the PNM opposition as a nominee, or the motion went before the Parliament on Friday. The President forwarded the nomination to the House for debate after receiving it from the Police Service Commission. Speaking on the motion, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissess has stated that after reviewing Alistair's resume, both her and her members have agreed that they will support the notification as recommended. Listen to this.
We come to Mr. Grovero. You have read his resume, our colleague read the resume, and therefore all we can say is that I, together with my team, we have agreed we will not subvert the merit list, we will not subvert the recommendation of the Police Service Commission, and if we've done our research and we have no reason to doubt that this is a good nominee, and therefore the government will support the notification as recommended.
Minister Marvin Gonzalez also weighed in on a motion saying that the opposition had no issue with supporting Alistair as top cop.
Mr. Speaker, as you are aware, that this process ensures continuity and stability in the management of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. And therefore, the opposition will have absolutely no objection to the recommendation by Her Excellency the President to allow Mr. Grovero to fill the position of Commissioner of Police. I did not get from the member who spoke before me whether it is the intention of the government to approve the notification But I wish to state at this point in time, Mr. Speaker, that the opposition has absolutely no objection in the recommendation by Her Excellency the President.
So now Trinidad and Tobago, my question is, how much individual went up to be the Commissioner of Police of Trinidad and Tobago? How many? So what about Benjamin? What is going to happen with Benjamin? Can we hear something about this? Because he was acting and he wanted the position of being the Commissioner of Police for Trinidad and Tobago. So can the both sides of the benches have some say on this? Number one, Trinidad and Tobago would like to know how many individuals went up for the post of being the Commissioner of Police. Was there a merit list? What was the selection? How did the selection go? Did one person went up? Did the Police Service Commission just submitted one individual? Was this individual a hand-picked individual? We don't know. Normally when there's time to pick Commissioner of Police, we would hear about a merit list that will go to the President or go to the Senate, the House, and they will debate on who is best qualified. But in this case, Trinidad and Tobago, we don't know how many individuals were involved in becoming the Commissioner of Police. How come that didn't surface up? I know for a fact that Benjamin wanted that position. He wanted to become the Commissioner of Police. So to me it's kind of funny. Where's the merit list? Is there a merit list? And can the merit list be shared with the public? How many individuals went up for that position of becoming the Commissioner of Police for Trinidad and Tobago? Can the Police Service Commission publish that? But nevertheless, let's wait in the coming weeks and we'll hear more about it. The Children Life Fund bill is now being debated in the House of Representatives. The bill ensures children who are influenced with life-threatening illness, including cancer, heart, and kidney disease, can access funds for medical treatment. Over the years, several children have died after being unable to access the fund due to its restrictive criteria. Speaking today, Minister of Health stated that the Children Life Fund Bill Act 2010 was a legislative measure to give sick children a chance to access medical treatment or theaters abroad. Listen to this.
Why are we coming to amend the Children's Life Fund Act here today? The Children's Life Fund Act 2010 was a historic and innovative legislative measure that gave hundreds of sick children another lease on life by creating a window for them to access highly specialized care from foreign experts at recognized institutions abroad when the required treatment was not available locally. Over the last 15 years, hundreds of lives have been saved. On the other hand, a number of applications were denied, and in many instances, decisions delayed, occasionally resulting in the possibly premature death of some children.
Now, viewers, Dr. Lakram stated that during the 2010 to 2025, 15 years of the Life Fund have been in existence. There has been 472 applications, with 392 were approved while 80 were declined. Proposed amendment to the bill, which introduce several criteria changes to the existing legislation. Will be expansion of eligible illness, ministerial oversight on grants, rejection and emergency ministerial authority in exceptional circumstances. So Trinidad and Tobago, they will be moving forward with some new pieces just to make sure that the children of Trinidad and Tobago who have life-threatening illness get help. Changes are coming, as they see. So viewers, Prime Minister Kamla Persad Bissessar has confirmed that $493 million have been paid in rental of properties leased by previous government for fiscal 2024.
Rent paid for properties leased by the government of TNT for the financial year was $493,209,274.63. We are talking here almost $5 billion. Is that correct? I'm not in mathematics. 493, 209, 274. 193 million. Almost $500 million in rentals. Half a billion dollars, thank you all. Gone into payment of rents and rentals and so on. On the face of it, nothing is really wrong with that. If we don't have the facilities, well then that's fine, but let's see where this money went.
Now viewers, what is strange is she stated that audit could not verify the accuracy of said figures for several years. So where did the money go? Ms. Kamla also confirmed that a master list showed 212 properties of 237 properties rented by the previous government had no lease. Listen to this.
The master list showed 237 properties were rented by the government, of which 212, 90% of rented properties were without current leases. They didn't have a lease. No lease. Most of the leases had expired, here it is, for about a decade. Not expired last year or the year before. Year upon year, expired leases. And we continue, taxpayers' dollars. Always remember that, it is not your money. It is not mine. It belongs to everybody of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
Now, the PM further noted that the rent paid by government ministries and agencies do not match the figure on the master list of properties rented by the government. So Trinidad and Tobago, when Jaiwanti Ramdas came out and said money were being spent and there were no receipts for it, or no paperwork, or no paper trail. Now you understand why? So now Trinidad and Tobago, hear this, Since the previous government were using taxpayers' money to pay rent, according to Kamla, these properties had no leases. Good? So can the present government publish the list of buildings that were being rented by the previous administration? Let Trinidad and Tobago see where their taxpayers' money went. I would like to see who collected rent without documents. Trinidad and Tobago would love to see where taxpayers' money went. And I'll tell you something, The PNM administration for 9 years always told their supporters, let me retract that statement. Let me bring it across like this. The PNM administration told the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago to always tighten your belt. Do you remember that? How many of you tighten your belt till you couldn't tighten it again? So now you understand, viewers, where money is going. When we should have had better roads, better hospital, better schools. Where's Gatsby Dolly for schools? Gatsby Dolly. And Penelope wants to know what plan this administration have for school violence. How long Gatsby Dolly was in power? Ministry of Education, what she did? What she did? She should be shamed now to ask the present government together with Penelope. Let me tell you something. They should be ashamed to ask the present Minister of Education, what is all your plan? What did you do when you were there? Nothing. Well then, chill in a corner with a block of ice on your head. As simple as that. Chill in a corner with a block of ice on your head. You had 9 years, you did nothing. Now it's my turn. Watch what I am going to do. As simple as that. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back from this break, we will be staying with Public Utility Minister who assures WASA long-term fix it ongoing after this.
We'll be right back.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to viewers. Remember, Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on our fixed deposit, viewers. Remember, we had this running since January. So those are a few who thinking about it. Yeah, what's going on? Before the board make a decision, 6 months is going to be up just now. So before the board make a decision to end the 5% with the interest up front, you all make up your mind and come in and get your fixed deposit done with your 5% interest up front so you wouldn't miss out. Remember that, viewers. It is not going to be around much longer because the board, they want to make a decision. We've been doing it for 6 months. The people have responded well. And what I can say is that not too long from now, they will put a cap on the 5% with the interest up front. So before that happens and you miss out TNT, call the office, set up an appointment, come in, get your interest up front on the money that you have worked hard for. Remember that you're going to be benefiting from it. Nowhere in Trinidad and Tobago, you are going to get 5% and your interest up front. Nowhere. I could guarantee you that. I've been in the finance business for about 30 years. I know how it runs. Hence the reason why you see Real Talk have Real Talk Credit Union. 2 locations, San Fernando and South. We have 3 lending centers. 3 brains. Long ago they said this movie they call Pinky and the Brain. I'm not Pinky, but I am one of those that has the brains. But nevertheless, Public Utility Minister Barry Patharat says, WASA response efforts are ongoing and form part of long-term infrastructure improvement aimed at minimizing future disruption caused by weather-related events. He made the revelation during Friday's sitting of the House of Representatives while responding to a question from the MP for Aruca Lopino, Marvin Gonzalez. When asked what relief efforts were being put in place for citizens affected by water outage in North Trinidad, this is what Minister Patharat had to say. Listen to this.
Mr. Speaker, right now, attendants are on standby at each one of the plants. Some of the debris has been removed, and I can indicate to the national population that the following plants were restored over the last 12 hours. That is in Cora, LNN, Akono, La Pastors, and Guanapo. The WASA Evolution team plans to install deflector plates and band screens to mitigate the problems and allow the plants to operate under adverse conditions.
I'm surprised. I am surprised that Marvin Gonzalez asked what plan? What plan does Barry have to give the people up north water when the outage hit them? What did Marvin had in place for 9 years? What? I'm surprised. But nevertheless, the minister did not hold back in criticizing the opposition for failing to adequately address the vulnerabilities in the Water and Sewerage Authority surfaces water treatment system during their tenure. Listen to this now.
This was not done in the last 10 years, and the reason the people of Trinidad and Tobago suffered in the past 48 hours was because of the inaction for 10 years of our friends opposite.
Hello?
Hello?
Go right ahead, you're live, my friend.
Oh, good night, Mr. Saeed. Great program as usual.
Thank you.
And I want to congratulate the nomination of the new Commissioner of Police, Mr. Guevara.
Yes.
And his first agenda is to get the waste of time lazy police officers in Princeton Station to get up and respond to the citizens' cry and screams of the St. Julian Village area, and in particular the Petit Cafe Junction. There's a bar opposite the health center. From Friday night until Saturday morning, they are blasting music. When you call, the Indian arrival weekend, they started from Thursday. They didn't stop until Monday morning.
Wow.
When you call the waste of time Princeton Police Station, not one of them reacted. They said, we're going to send a vehicle. Up to now, this day, not a response, and they continue to blast music. So I want the Commissioner of Police to be nominated. That will be your first agenda. And I want you to know why it is so is because there are police involvement at that bar with Spanish-speaking women. Right, Mr. Saeed? So the residents are calling out for help. And I hope the government is listening, and Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander. Mr. Saeed, the residents of this village need help. Help us. Thank you very much. God bless you and your staff, Mr. Saeed.
Thank you, my friend. I believe the IMA and the EMA, they are working out some plans and strategies to charge people now. They are giving the police, together with the IMA and EMA officers, authority to charge people. So when you're here, let me clear up this with Tobago. When you're here, you call the police station, and the officers say the music not loud, and it hampering people 10 houses down. The EMA now will come in and charge the individual. So if somebody in the bar giving a little cut or something in the station, let me tell you something, all that, it ain't gonna have that again just now. It ain't gonna have that again just now, because the IMA and the EMA will be coming out themselves. So it ain't nothing like nobody getting a cut, oh, this one, no doubt. No. That's a thing of the past. Now it's not donkey cart days. Now we have electric vehicle on the road. So time change. So the bars on them, you want to hire music, nothing wrong with that. Make sure you box inside the bar, because you might lose your license. You might lose your license. So Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this, Given an update as it relates to tension between Trinidad and Venezuela, Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister Sean Sobers maintained that no hostile is brewing between the neighboring countries. He was speaking outside the parliament on Friday. Sean Sobers.
None at all. Very, very, very peaceful, very, very open, very, very transparent. We have an extremely close relationship. Good. No problems whatsoever.
Minister Sobers says the ministry did receive a response from Venezuela authority following a letter that was sent on Wednesday. Sobers.
We received a response from the Venezuelan authorities that they are paying close attention to it, and that they will forward us some information as soon as they can. But they're treating it with urgent priority.
So now, viewers, he says, through diplomatic channels, only can the alleged Trinidadian held in Venezuela be identified, as the Venezuelan government has yet to provide sufficient evidence to prove its claim. Sobers, one more time.
We need for it to come through the correct diplomatic channels, and once that occurs, we will engage the authorities through other diplomatic channels to ensure that the well-being of the citizen, if he is in fact there, is treated with our top priority.
So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, we stay on the current affairs disruption of Ferry soon. Cabo Star to dry dock. More in this after this break.
We'll be right back.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, Trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Report Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Report Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Real Talk viewers. A description in Ferry Island service can be expected. A disruption can be expected between July 12th to August 3rd as the MV Cargo Star will be dry docked during this period. According to Works and Infrastructure Minister Julian John, during the maintenance period, the HSC TT Spirit and the MV Galleon's Passage and the MV will be used to move cargo back and forth from Trinidad to Tobago. Listen to this.
Cargo Star carries about 150 trucks every day. There will be a shortfall. You could do probably maths better than me, because the MD Spirit, it carries about 75 vans, the Galleon about 30, so that's 100. The Emperor will carry about 18 or so of those large containers, that is. So there will be a bit of a shortfall, and that is why we have said we have given a month look ahead, being proactive. So there will be a period of enhanced service with the Cargo Star to ensure persons who wishes they can stock up in advance.
Viewers, speaking at Thursday's post-cabinet briefing, John said the MV will be utilized to transport toxic metals. Listen to this.
To take the what we call the dangerous cargo, such as the highly flammable and toxic materials such as chlorine gas for WASA, oxygen for the hospital, bitumen, nitrogen, propane, etc. We had to hire a barge that is called MV Emprem Ledora to take that. They can take the big containers and They can take the big bags of sand, etc.
So Trinidad and Tobago, the minister stated the cargo star service will be enhanced, but mentioned that the decision to sell a dry dock at Caribbean Dockyard and Engineering Service Limited, CariDock, could cost the country millions in foreign exchange. Listen to this now.
The dry dock sank, but you know that is a submersible. It's supposed to sink and come back up. It's not supposed to sink to the bottom of the ocean like a stone, and it has done so. It was sold, I think, for $1. The value was $10 million, sold for $1 to a company in Turkey, and it is working just fine in Turkey. So what has happened is we have lost about $22 million US in revenue over the last 2 years.
Imagine, we have a place called the dry docks, CariDock, and they want to sell it out. So where are we going now to service when we dry dock our ships? Ask yourself that. Moving along. During Thursday's post-cabinet briefing, Local Government and Rural Development Minister Saieed Ali appealed to councillors across Trinidad not to politicize the flooding crisis the country has faced for the past couple of days. The United National Congress, UNC, currently controls 7 local government corporations, while the People's National Movement holds the other 7. Listen to this.
This is not a UNC corporation exercise. This exercise is for every single region and every flood-prone area. And therefore, if a councillor does not do the necessary in terms of sending us the water courses to be cleared, making a request for additional equipment, and directing the labor from their district to clear those water courses, then they are doing an injustice to the people who live within that district. And I'm saying this is not a UNC or PNM exercise. All councillors, UNC or PNM, every regional corporation, it is your duty to be out there on the field and to make sure that this flood mitigation takes place in every region across Trinidad.
So Trinidad and Tobago, Minister Amin has made it very clear, very, very crystal clear, that during the rainy season, if flood happens to be in your area, do not hesitate to call out your MPs or councillor, whether they are UNC or PNM. Call them out. And if they are not coming to assist you, or the councillors not coming to assist you, feel free to call in our program Monday to Friday, 7 to 8 p.m. And we will put them on the spot. You know, people don't like to be on TV, you know. They don't. You know why? Because the whole country will be looking at them as some clowns. And this is the only program in Trinidad and Tobago that had ministers back against our wall. You know why? You want to know why? Because none of them are paying me. Here's the reason why I just always say, you can't pay me to run an ad. You know why? Because as I start to light up, somebody dies your friend. I'll tell you something. When you hear justice is being served, there's no such thing as friends. No such thing. Here's the reason why God has put me in a position like this to own. So you know what? I won't have to depend on an ad. As I always say that, you know. But not many would understand the independence of this program. Not many. You know who understands it? The ones who see action when I say I was something done. And who is that? Trinidad and Tobago citizens for the last 8 years. They have seen that. But nevertheless, Minister Amin authorities are still trying to locate Authorities are still trying to locate the driver or any occupants of a vehicle found abandoned in floodwaters on Chantrell Road, St. Augustine. They find the guy? All right, nice, nice. So now viewers, well, they found the guy, thank God for that. That vehicle's abandoned. And thank God they found him today, otherwise you don't know what would have happened. Minister Amin urged citizens to not risk driving through flood water. Videos shows the area completely impassable. So viewers, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. We beg. We had back individuals in Trinidad and Tobago. We own a vehicle. You understand? We seen flood water. But yet, all the sense we have, all the book sense we have, all the common sense we have, all the degree we have, all the subject we have, all the master degree we have, you know, we so stupid we going through the flood. We so dotish we going through the flood. Who you think fixing the car? We self had to spend we money from we pocket to fix it. That is how stupid we are. It doesn't matter, we have all the brains. We work in central bank, we working for accountant firms, we're making money, we smart, we brilliant, we highly praised, but yet we dotish to drive through flood water. Please, if you're smart, use the brains you have now. Look at this video.
The Trinidad and Tobago Fire Services, who had been working with the regional corporation in other rescue situations, have now deployed resources there. We just asked for the corporation, Port of Spain City Corporation's municipal police to provide escort for additional vehicles to go up to that area, equipment and so on. And I really hope that all the persons who are affected there are found and safely retrieved. Please do not take the chance and drive through flood waters. You can never tell how heavy the current is or what the situation is once you cannot see. There are alternative routes, and there are alternative routes to Chantrell Road. It's not a situation where there was only one route.
So viewers, again, for your safety, for the safety of your family, wanting you to come home when extreme flood is in the area, for your safety of saving money so you won't have to sell your car because you know you drive through the flood and something wrong with it, for your own goddamn safety. Wait. If where you're working, you live in South, you have to go up in Port of Spain to work, in your community there's flood, tell the boss, yeah, what's going on? I had to go home. There's flood down by me. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 business running, right? And since the rain started to fall about 2 days back, I have workers from south side where we live in, it is flood. No problem. By 2 o'clock, go home. Go home. Relax yourself. Make sure you're inside. Make sure you're inside. Your dog inside, your cat inside, your fowl, your rooster, your goat, wherever it is you have. Your animals, make sure they're safe. I send them home. Since when rain falling? Since today's about Wednesday? Monday, Tuesday. I sent home workers. Go home and make sure your house safe. Don't mind the business can make money the next day. But in studio now, these fellas and them living where had no flood. You know what I mean? And even that flood, you know, well, I have 4x4 van, we're dropping them home. But nevertheless, I love my workers. And when I say side we area flooding, take the time out and go home. That is what I do. I don't run on work. My workers will tell you. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back from this break, ministers reveal 18 state company breaches the law. Where was the Attorney General on the PNM side when these companies breached the law? We will hear more about this when we return.
We'll be right back.
When life throws you a curveball, and you need a clear path forward. Trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Report Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Report Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, welcome back. As I say again, viewers, if you think about opening a fixed deposit, please do so as soon as possible, because the 5% with the interest up front may not be around for a very long time again. We have been doing it since January. It's June month. The board, we meet, we have discussions on how we're going forward, and it will be coming to an end pretty soon. So if you missed out on it, we cannot help you. You understand? We are from January to June. Maybe in July they're going to end it, or the end of June. I can't say as yet. But if you haven't benefited from it as yet, please do so. It's only when it finished, then they're going to say, I wanted to. Well, you just missed out. So viewers, a little boat cruise. Wakaman promotion. A boat cruise for kids. Listen carefully. I believe this is his second boat cruise. The promotion funds go to the kids. You understand? Wakaman promotion, Kings Wharf, San Fernando, boarding at Liquid Lounge. Now, viewers, kids 100, adult 175. Their numbers on screen: 487-1789. Call Wakaman, or 332-7609. If you want a last minute ticket, you can still get that tomorrow, viewers. Remember, it's a charity cruise, no alcohol. Remember that, viewers. I believe you could walk in with your cooler also. Walk with your coolers, your soft drink, your juice, whatever it is for the kids, adult and kids. Viewers, support the cruise. I am supporting it. The benefits, the proceeds go to kids. Remember, you're getting free hot dog, free soft drink, cotton candy, whatever it is, again, you're getting free on the boat. Live entertainment. Every artist you see there, I believe they will be present on the cruise. So Trinidad and Tobago, come out and support the kids. I am supporting it, and I'm asking you to support it also. So back to our program. 18 state companies that breaches the law by not filing their annual return with companies registry will no longer be given amnesty. So the time cut. Penalty for you now. The announcement was made by Legal Affairs Minister Saddam Hussein at Thursday's post-cabinet meeting. Listen to this.
We will have a waiver of penalties for late filing, which will be published by legal notice from the period January 31, 2025 to September 15, 2025. And this matter was in fact approved by the Cabinet today. Now, with the introduction of the amnesty and the extension of this amnesty period, it provides an essential opportunity for companies wishing to remain active to fulfill their obligations without incurring late filing penalties under the Companies Act.
So viewers, I got mixed up. You will now be given an amnesty. We do apologize for that, wrong typing. But nevertheless, the announcement was made by Legal Affairs Minister, right? So you heard Saddam Hussein saying that. Now, naming some of the companies in breach, the minister expressed that it may be sheer and incompetence or mismanagement under the previous administration. Listen to this now.
E-Tech, Export TT, Golden Grove Buku Limited, Invest TT, National Commission for Self-Help Limited, National Helicopter Services Limited, National Information and Communication Technology Company Limited.
This all took place within the last administration. It's either sheer incompetence or mismanagement at most of these state enterprises. And we have seen some of them still clutching on to power, and they have refused, in some instances, to resign.
Now, viewers, he mentioned that 2 state companies has been struck off the company registry, but will have to make an application to the court to be restored, Saddam.
National Marine and Maintenance Services Company Limited, a very critical company under the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure. They were struck out on the 16th of January 2025. Tourism Trinidad Limited was struck out on the 10th of March 2025. So those 2 were struck out. Both state enterprises and also private companies, privately owned companies, will also be able to avail themselves of this period of the company's amnesty, as I said, to bring some relief to people in Trinidad and Tobago.
For those who experience difficulties with online filing, the ministry has put forward a solution during this period. Sada.
The Registrar General's Department is prepared during this period to implement an over-the-counter filing system to assist companies in fulfilling their obligations, and the service is designed to provide essential support during this transition, ensuring that companies can efficiently update their records and, in fact, achieve compliance.
So, viewers, we have come to the end of our program tonight, but nevertheless, enjoy the weekend. Stay safe, stay away from the water, don't drive into the water. Viewers, remember that our rerun of this program is Monday morning from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Until we meet again, good night.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real public concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Real Talk Financing is offering you 5% on a fixed deposit for 5 years and over with upfront interest. Contact our central office at 238-6716 or our San Fernando office at 242-9944. You don't want to miss this great opportunity. Invest today and watch your investment work for you.
Throws you a curveball, and you need a clear path forward. Trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real public concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.